How hard is it to be a player like Sanju Samson?
Now, after our previous video, a lot of you in the comment section have been talking about how we did not mention Sanju Samson. In fact, he was not picked, and that is something that a lot of people had a problem with. So let's get into this, right? Let's understand if Sanju Samson should have been in the squad in the first place, if he's set a foot wrong, or if he's just been supremely unlucky.
Now, there are a couple of reasons and justifications the coach, who's now Gautam Gambhir, and the chief selector, who's Ajit Agarkar, gave for why Sanju Samson wasn't picked. Let's break that down a little. Now, if you were to look at Sanju Samson as a backup wicketkeeper, you already have Rishabh Pant coming in. He automatically, for whatever reason, comes in. He did have a decent IPL and a decent World Cup, but I don't think that should allow him to come into the ODI setup automatically. KL Rahul, who has been the wicketkeeper for the last couple of seasons, should start off as a wicketkeeper, or at least should start in the playing 11. But I don't see a reason why Rishabh Pant gets an automatic go in the ODI squad. Now, if you think of Sanju Samson as just a batter, I don't see him in the squad as just a batter because of so many other options that are in place. Hardik Pandya is an all-rounder, Shivam Dube is an all-rounder, then Shreyas Iyer comes back into the squad, Rishabh Pant, we already spoke about him. And because of these reasons, and because Sanju Samson is not the backup keeper, he doesn't find himself in the squad.
Now, this is the reason for why Sanju Samson isn't in the squad. But if you look solely at his numbers and if you even draw comparisons with other batsmen, we know KL Rahul had a great World Cup, so he automatically gets into that squad, probably as the wicketkeeper to start. Rishabh Pant, again, there's a question mark on him, and he's not particularly done well in his limited ODI career up until now. Now, looking at Sanju Samson's numbers, he averages 56. He has a century in South Africa. He's been not out 5 times in 14 innings. And in general, in any of the series that he's played, he is not averaged below 30. Now, if I look at it from this lens, it almost feels unfair that Sanju Samson was dropped from the squad. And it feels like there is definitely a little bit of, maybe not favoritism, but an inclination to pick Rishabh Pant, maybe because of his age and other factors, and the fact that he has such a stellar test record as well.
Now, someone else who didn't make it into the squad, didn't play for India in the last year, plays well in the IPL, and then gets picked for the World Cup, and then doesn't get a game, and then gets dropped once again. Of course, we're talking about Chahal here. Now, Chahal's replacement is very obvious. It's Ravi Bishnoi, and according to us, you could honestly pick either or, and it wouldn't make much of a difference because Ravi Bishnoi's numbers as compared to Chahal aren't any better or worse. Both of them have an economy of 8. Ravi Bishnoi didn't have the best of IPLs. Chahal started off having a great IPL and then fell through once he was picked for the Indian team. The only reason I see Ravi Bishnoi being picked ahead of Chahal is one, age. The age factor comes into play, and the second reason we can think of is that Ravi Bishnoi is a little more unorthodox as compared to Chahal. When you have bowlers like Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel who are very orthodox in the way they go about their things, you want a mystery in the mix, and I think that's what Ravi Bishnoi brings, and that's one of the only reasons for why I think he is picked ahead of Chahal.
Now, the next name we're going to look at is Abhishek Sharma. Obviously, he had a really good series in Zimbabwe. He scored a century, and just a lot of people talking about why he did not make the cut. So let's look at this, right? Instead of Abhishek Sharma, you right now have Shubman Gill and Jaiswal to open the innings. Now, obviously, if you look at it from the sense of a pecking order, Gill and Jaiswal are clearly ahead, and they didn't want to go in with 3 openers. But here's the thing, right? Before the T20 World Cup, when India were playing Afghanistan in those T20Is, Jaiswal was picked over Gill to open with Rohit Sharma. So obviously, Gill was dropped due to his lack of performance, and Jaiswal came in and did relatively well, and Jaiswal right now is probably ahead in the pecking order for an opener. However, by making Shubman Gill the vice captain, it's impossible now for India to drop Shubman Gill, and it feels like they're just going to give him a bit of a long rope, and unfortunately, I think because of this, Abhishek Sharma misses out. Usually, picking someone like an Abhishek Sharma along with Jaiswal would have been a bold decision, something that you could see a likes of someone like in Australia doing, but in India, I think we are still fairly conservative when it comes to selections, and obviously Abhishek Sharma does not fit in that middle order as well, and it almost would be a waste of his potential if you're not batting him at the top.
Another name that was thrown around in the comment section below was Tilak Varma. If you look at his numbers, you'll realize he's not the most outstanding batter out there. He of course had a good IPL. He averaged 41 with a strike rate of 150, and in T20Is he averages 33 with an average of 140, which aren't the most outstanding numbers, and with the options that we have and the resources that we have, we feel like Tilak Varma is way down in the pecking order, and for him to stand above the rest, he will need more outstanding IPLs and Syed Mustaq Ali's if he needs to be selected in the India squad.
So yeah, this has been a video. Let us know if you've missed out any names that you think have missed out on a selection for the Indian squad. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know if you're enjoying these videos, and we'll come back with more next week. Peace.